I'm going to give you an option for a starting pose. Some of us just know our back would not like it, and some of us do like to take a back bend. So it's going to be personal preference whether you take it or not. But the option is to put a block under our back, so you can play with exactly where. I kind of like it lower back, and like kind of the middle of the block is where my ribs start. And to me, when I arch my head back, that feels nice. But other people like it more up in between shoulder blades. So you'll just kind of have to play with your back to find that good spot if you want it. Make sure the neck and the head are still comfortable. Set up the arms in a way that it feels just open. It's like things are just like gravity opening us up rather than kind of like any discomfort type of sensation. So try to feel very open. And notice the breath. As you breathe, feel the muscle fibers in the abdominal area getting pulled longer. Nice exhale. That slow breath flowing into the abdomen. Take just a moment to connect with our intention for today, which is the idea of slowing down. So often we're just rushed from one thing to the next, filling up our agenda with and our to-do list with things back to back, and we're just so rushed. And so today's class is meant to be kind of like a counter for that. Give us a chance to feel in our very body what it is to be slowing down. So that's why we're here, just feeling how funky it is to take a breath in a back bend. So let's just go 2 more good deep breath cycles like that. So when you start to feel ready to come out of the back bend, I find kind of the easiest way is just plant a foot and then use that to help you roll off the block. You can grab the block, push it off to the side. We'll definitely need it shortly. But then when you feel your back muscles returning to this flat plane, sometimes a couple of little easy wiggles for the back muscles will help them adjust to this new placement. When that starts to feel good, we can start to take the knees into the chest. No rush at all, but just nice and easy, rocking the legs out. Good. So from here, let's grab onto a block. We're going to place the block on our inner thighs. Inner thighs are going to squeeze together. Knees are set up at a 90-degree angle. Knees stacked right over the hips. And the arms can start to stretch open to left and right. So feel that rounded upper body. From here, slowly start to tilt your knees over to the left. You choose how far. If your back is a little bit aggravated, stay higher. Lower makes your oblique muscles have to go quite a bit more to just hold you there. So wherever you're at, just hold. Keep breathing. Only if you feel like you want to increase difficulty level, the right leg is welcome to stretch out, straighten. Only if you still want more, the left leg straightens out. Make sure you're not just setting the block there, you're kind of squeezing into the block too. Lots of things going on at the same time. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Let the hips come back onto the earth. And let's start to settle to second side. So tilt over to right, nice and easy, nice and slow. Feel that spot where you feel like you can maintain for plenty of time. And if you want to increase difficulty, left leg straightens. Starting right would be even harder. Your choice. Keep inner thighs still squeezing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Send the hips back to the ground. We'll remove the block. Let the feet about as wide as mat. Just nice and easy. Windshield wipers, left and right. You don't have to rush it. Easy and slow. Good. So we'll go through a couple of different strengthening exercises like that, and then we'll repeat the whole cycle again, so you'll get another chance to feel what we just did. With the next one, take the block back into inner thighs. Remember, anytime block is there, we're not just setting it there, we're squeezing. So from that squeeze of inner thighs, let's start to straighten legs up to the sky. And keep the activation in. And from here, what we're going to do is 5 slow crunches. When we get to the highest part of the crunch, we try to hold for a moment before we slowly back down. So 5 is actually going to take quite a while. So hands are kind of hovering at our sides by the hips. To go up to the crunch, the fingers need to slide further. Hold as high as you can. And lower back down. 1 up to 4. Hold. And lower. 3. And down. 2. And down. 1. And down. Good. Grab the block, bend the knees, set the feet on the ground, and then we're going to lift the hips up, scooting the block under the hips, whatever height is you're able to scoot. So I like to go tall, but a lot of people go for medium. From this place, let's let the right leg straighten up to the sky. And the idea here is try to first straighten the leg out as much as possible. So even if that means the toes need to point a little bit further down, that's okay. Gotta take all the bend out of the knee that you can. From that spot, if there's any more muscular ability to pull the leg closer to your torso, try to also pull in. So that's the hard spot. It's like we're already almost at the max of our flexibility. Good. One more inhale. Exhale. Bend the knee. Set the foot to the ground. Left leg up high. First, try to take the bend out of the knee. Really extending. And then if there's any more space for the leg to be brought closer, start to take it in. Keep breathing, keep pulling it in. One more inhale. Exhale. Bend the knee, foot to the ground. As we lift our hips off the block, scoot the block away. And just give the hips a chance to just kind of shimmy left and right, left and right, left and right. That will help those hips to feel really good. Beautiful. Okay, so grab block. It's back to inner thighs. Squeezing in, don't forget that part. And then legs back up to the sky. So while we're just kind of keep on squeezing, the legs are up at this tall spot. I'll explain where we're gonna go. We're gonna take the legs and lower them down in thirds. The third does not mean it has to be above the ground. You choose how far your thirds are. The third third meaning as low as you can get it without the low back arching off the ground. So maybe mentally you already know that's about a 45-degree angle. So then you divide your thirds in that way. So kind of mentally guess where your thirds will be and then lower down to the first third. Kind of keep straightening the legs, try to keep squeezing in. Keep breathing. Lower down to second third. Remember, low back never allowed to lift off the ground. That means the core has to work so much more sitting action to keep the low back down. If there's any more space for one more third, find that angle. Go back up to second third. It's way hard to go slow. It's crazy. Back up to first. All the way back up. Just a couple of breaths. Keep the inner thigh squeezing in just a little. Beautiful. Remove the block. Let's take a little happy baby pose. Grab out the feet. Feel free to rock. So this is one of those places where it's good to note that we think that slower usually means easier. Like, not always the case when it comes to strengthening the muscles. In fact, I've been playing this week with purposely going slower to make your muscles actually get in the full thing. So often we use momentum to get us places, but it's the slow, steady action. That's where the real deep, true strength is. Good. Keep on moving. If you'd like to switch to hands to knees, just a little bit of easy action for knees, hips, low back, that's fine. This is where we're gonna turn around and repeat those things that we did with the block in our thighs. We're gonna repeat all of them, and we're gonna try to go back to back to back this time. If you need to drop out, take breaks for a little while, 100% allowed. But if you can stick with it, know that eventually we'll get to the end. This is the tortoise race versus the hare. So if you feel ready, grab your block, place it in inner thighs, start our squeeze already. The knees are at 90-degree angles, arms are opening out left and right. Let's slowly start to tilt to the left. Find that spot where you can maintain comfortably. Squeezing in. Maybe right leg straightens, doesn't have to. Maybe left leg joins, doesn't have to. Squeezing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend knees. Take it up through the center. Slowly start to tilt to the right. You choose the angle that you can maintain. Maybe left leg straightens. Maybe right leg joins. It doesn't have to. Feel the obliques. Sometimes we don't know where the obliques are. This is where the obliques are trying to speak to you. So try to listen. Squeezing. Got another count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Come through the center. Just give it one little breath in the middle. Inhale. Exhale. Legs up to the sky. Squeezing in. Hands are preparing for the 5 slow crunches. So slide the fingers as far away as you can. Hold. And lower. Going up 4. And lower. 3. And down. 2, and down, 1, and down. Let the knees bend for just a moment. A little break before our next one. Good. So when you're ready for legs to go back up, they go up. Inner thighs are still squeezing. Lower down to your first third. You're absolutely welcome to make your third smaller this time if you regretted it before. Let's squeeze our thighs. Good, lower down to 2/3. Down to the third. Squeezing in. Maybe a little shaking in our body now, this is great. Up to the second third. Squeezing. To the first third. All the way up. Or sorry, first third. We're not quite all the way up, sorry. I lied. We have one more spot. Now all the way up. Try to hold in that up spot. Keep on squeezing as hard as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing efforts. Release the block. Let's take a figure 4 stretch right across the left side. Let's give it a good hug. Amazing efforts right there. That was a lot. Inhale. Exhale. And let's switch our figure 4 to the other side. We're good. Inhale. Exhale. Start to release the ankles. What we're going to do here, grabbing our block again, is we're going to start off with the block in between our feet. You'll have to keep a little bit of space so you don't drop it. From here, the legs will lower partway down. You choose how far, don't let the low back arch. And when they come back up, the hands will come up and take the block. And then the hands will come down as the legs go down. Meet right back up at the center, switch back to the feet. Both arms and legs go away from one another, keep the elbow back on the ground, and switch. And go back away. And switch. So obviously not going quite so far down will make it easier. And it tends to be easier to go faster. It takes that momentum to bring us up. So see if you can slow down your path just a little bit beyond what you want. Slow inhale. Slow exhale will return. Inhale. Exhale back up. Another 5. 5. Slightly bent knees will also make it easier. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Good. Bring the bottoms of feet together. Let the knees open, maybe sliding a nice block under each thigh. Just let the thighs have a little break. Grabbing our elbows. Let the elbows rise above the head. Will the low back now allow to be in that little arch? The breath flowing. Good. Releasing elbows. Lift the knees up. One block slides away, out of the way for us. The other block, we're placing on the front of our left thigh. And then it's going to be our left elbow that holds it in place. So just like before, we're not just kind of easy, it's just kind of here. Instead, we're constantly trying to push this side together. So feel what you engage in that left half of the core when you push. That's what we're trying to feel the whole time. So from here, 5 times really slow on the right half. The elbow and knee are going to try to come into crunch. And then slowly, right arm and right leg reach out, hovering above the ground. Good. 4. Inhale, slow out. 3. 2. And 1. Good. When you come back in through the center, switch the clock. On right thigh, already start to feel the right elbow push, the thigh pushes, it's all squeezing together right there. So left elbow and touch. And start to stretch out. 5. And together. Keep pushing into the block. 4. And push. 3. 2. 1. Good. Remove. Let the feet rest. Just take easy windshield wipers. Good work. We've done so much as the legs are moving. Feel how the core is really speaking to us. Every little movement, it's like, oh, I feel something there and there and there. So healthy, so alive, and yet, like, if you quantify how many things we've done, it's not actually that many. So it's crazy how much just slowing down can get us to the core. So from here, we're going to work our way up to a seated place. So know if your core cannot just do a slow roll up, keep the knees bent. This will allow you to grab the thighs and slowly come up. Sliding the legs long will make it harder. And the goal is like snail pace. So perhaps arms reach up overhead. Take a nice inhale to prep. And then snail. The arms rise. The neck starts to lift. Very, very slow. Feel how much more work it takes. Grab to thighs. That's okay. That's okay. It's crazy how much easier it is with momentum for sure. Just keep on going all the way to forward. Good. So we're rising up, put a block at each side. What we're gonna do is push into the block. I'm gonna do a countdown from 10, and your goal is to just do whatever you can do for those countdown of 10. By the way, just take the legs into easy cross leg, that's fine. So option 1, I'll just give you some options, and it might be further, might be less, I don't know. But option 1, even just up and down, do whatever you can do is great. A lot of people, probably most of us, will be able to lift the hips up at least. If anybody can also lift top leg, that's great. Maybe bottom leg for little bursts is fine. Just do what you can do. That's great. So I'm gonna do a countdown of 10. So when you're ready, coming up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips down. Come into boat pose. Roll the wrists out. Try to straighten the right leg. Then the left arm, slowly, we take an inhale. Left arm tries to come out to the left as wide as it can. Slowly return exhale. Just 4 more of those. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Back to the cross leg. I'm going to try to do another press on the blocks. If you ever want to bump up block height, that's also fine. Okay, so ready? Here is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Whatever we don't accept it, it's okay. Back up to boat. Roll the wrists out. It's hard. Even if you get 3 seconds, that's a lot more than a lot of people. Like anybody who's not trying, that's more than them. Yep. Okay. Let the left leg come out. Right arm. Best that you can do, even just grabbing to the legs. Okay, 5. And right arm forward. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Just 1 more press. So whatever you can do, I'll do a countdown of 10, except if you're awesome about whatever it is. Okay. Here is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Roll the wrists or shake them. Feeling things today. Okay, let's take a nice little
My face is numb in my arms and
slow, deep breath. Okay. Yeah. If you ever need to take a water break, yeah. We're just gonna take a nice easy stretch break here. So let the right leg go out long. Actually one thing before your stretch break, because we're gonna use our block to try to see in a moment if we can capture our foot. So before we can do that, just nice and easy, press in the block. Little bit of engagement, doesn't have to be like no more oxygen, but just a little bit of engagement, pressing in just 3 times. Block up and down. 2. 1. We're gonna try to see if our body can capture past the block. Some might make it, some might not. But what I'll do is at the small height, I'll get my middle fingers to just barely kind of be able to wrap around it. I'll reach up really tall, get my spine strong and long, and then I'll bend forward, trying to see if the block can capture the foot. Sometimes it can, sometimes it cannot. If it does not capture it, it's okay, set the block down, just capture with your hands or capture your ankle. If you did make it past it, we're just gonna relax and breathe for a little while. We earned it after that boat pose steps. You guys are awesome. Easy roll up, switch out the legs. We'll press into the block. So you'll feel your biceps pop out just a little bit. 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 1. Set it up in that way that the middle finger can kind of wrap around, reach up tall, and see if this foot's one that can be captured. Just breathe, whatever we have, even if we let go of block and just capture with our hands instead, that's great. Good inhale. Exhale. Rising up. Checking in, feeling any better?
yeah, I almost passed out.
You're welcome, you're welcome. Just slowly breathe. And always listen to your body. That's kind of, now you know, if I get toward that spot, it's time to slow. Yep. Okay, let's come to knees. Just 3 slow cat cows. So what you're doing when you're rounding up is seeing how much you can get your back muscles to stretch. And then when you drop the belly down, can you feel the core, the abdominal area stretch? We don't always get all the way to the point where we feel that. Good, so 2 more like that. And 1. Good. Okay, spine back out to straight. We're going to try to take our right leg back and our left arm forward, opposites. So sometimes the core is like super wobbly. It's about all we can do just to stay here. So this is an absolutely fine spot. If you want to increase difficulty, what we do today is swing out wide. So it's going to be left arm to the left, right leg to the right, going wide, and then slowly coming back. So it's only 3. Let's try it out. Arm and leg go wide. And it's okay if it's not 90 degrees. Maybe it's like 10 degrees, and that's okay. And return. Going for 2. Return. And 1. Amazing. When you return, lower hand and knee. Second side. Left leg, right arm. Okay, you have the stability. It feels okay on this side. Go wide. 3. And return. 2. Return. 1. Return. Drop it down. And let's take puppy pose for just a moment. So both blocks come up. They're toward the top of the mat, at least as wide as shoulders, sometimes slightly wider. And then what we're doing is setting the fingertips past the blocks so we can lower the elbows down onto the blocks. Make sure the hips stay over the knees, and then let the head drop down, let the heart drop down. It's so nice to have that extra space for the shoulders because the blocks lifted us up. Another good inhale. Exhale. What I like to do is rock forward until my fingertips touch the ground again. Then I can press my way up, get the blocks to the side. If one of them kind of even put it toward the back of the mat, it won't be in the way for our next thing. And the other one keep close to us. Let's take a slow chaturanga to lower down to the ground. If you know that you need to be on knees, take it slow that way. If you know you want to try plank, that's okay too. Try to rock shoulders past fingertips, keep the elbows in, and see how slow you can get down to the ground. That was impressive. Good job, guys. Okay, so block comes out in front of us. I'll walk you through it while we do this one, but the first idea that we're starting with is pushing into the block. We are trying to lift the block off the ground and the legs. So it's like everything lifting at the same part. So I'll guide you to it from that spot, but that's where we start. So when you're ready, take a good inhale and try to lift arms and legs. Good. Now left hand takes the block. The block goes through the left side like an airplane. The block continues to go all the way until you can place the block on your glutes. And then left arm returns. Good. Right arm goes to the side. Grab onto the block. Bring it through the airplane. All the way forward. Hold on to it for another count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. You can even let your hands stack, just resting your forehead down for a moment. You're going to do one more of those to the opposite circle direction, but give it 2 or 3 more breaths first. Okay, you're ready? Have on. Lift up. And right hand takes the block. Slowly go through the right. Onto the glute. Right arm returns. Left arm goes to the side. Grab the block. Swing it around. You've got the front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Even head back to child. Easy. Okay. Got one more thing I want to work us through. But this one, you'll need both of your blocks, so go ahead and grab them both. Okay. I'll show you first so you kind of have an idea of what we're trying to go for. The idea is it's difficult for a lot of people to step their foot through from a down dog to a lunge. And so this idea is using blocks to lift us up, but then we're trying to go through slow motion so we feel in our body what we should be doing normally, just with momentum usually. So I'll show you one first, and then we're just gonna practice a couple left and right, and then we'll head toward our ending stretching sequences from this. So the idea, I'm up and down dog first, so I'm gonna float my right leg. The first thing I need to do, something forward, is my back heel needs to lift. That gives me a couple of extra inches. My right knee starts to come into the nose. And then I start to shift my shoulders over my wrists. And then I slowly step that foot through. So that's the idea. And then we're going to try to reverse that. Slowly come back, sequence by sequence, until your foot's back down. Okay? So as slowly as you can, try to do some step throughs. So you'll do right foot once, you'll do left foot. So think of every single one of those things. So we're up and down dog, leg is lifted, back heel has to lift, that gives us inches, knee to nose, shift shoulders forward, and soft. Good, good. I know, it's okay if you don't make it all the way, this is just practice today. And then try to reverse every single one of those things to get back to three-legged dog briefly before you drop the foot down. Good, try the second leg. Good, lift, back heel rises, curl the knee to the nose, shoulders need to shift forward, and then it's kind of like just a lat, very soft. Yep, you can feel how that core gives you that space. Good, try to reverse it slowly. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so when we step our right foot through, we're going to take a stretch before we switch again. So right leg up, lift up the back heel, curl the knee to the nose, shoulders forward, step. Do go ahead and scoot it forward if it's behind for this one. Let the back heel slide forward to the point where it feels all the way flat. We're going to take a nice slow motion pyramid pose. The idea is it's almost like we never ever come to the end of the stretch. It's like there's always a little bit more space to let the hamstrings go long. Just one more muscle fiber to include. Sometimes a little bit of contraction of the quad creates more space for the hamstrings. It's as deep as that leg is willing to stretch. Like we're still not at the end, we're still exploring. So now bend the knee. We're going to kind of walk our way back to that down dog shape. And let's try left. So left leg floats. Lift up the back heel, curl the knee into the chest, shift the shoulders forward, and step. Good. So setting up the feet, the back heel comes in until it's flat on the ground. Then the front leg never quite finds the end, but we're working it straighter. Straighter. Even bump the blocks higher if you wish. Good. Still finding length, maybe contracting quad to lift up the kneecap a little bit. So much space, so much play. Good. And the knees start to slide back. Drop to knees for just a moment. We'll scoot the blocks off to the side we want them, but we're gonna try a down dog without the block height, just to see if we use those same steps, how far can we get the foot? It's not super important for this one if you get it all the way through because we're gonna lower down to our knee anyways. So take down dog, lift hips high. Let's float our right leg up to sky. Let's lift up the back heel. Curl the right knee to the nose, shift the shoulders forward, and just see where the step goes. Good. Wherever it is, it's okay. Drop the back knee down. Front leg, what we're going to do is play with some split actions. So anybody who wants to just take half splits, you can absolutely just stay with a block under each hand. If I've got 2 blocks, one of my favorite things to do is slide forward to the point where I could just sit my hamstring on one of the blocks. And then from there, it's just like super restful. I'm just here. The other block is almost like a cane where I can just kind of like support myself. I'm comfortable. We're going to be here for a little while, so make sure it's a spot that you can maintain for a while. Isn't this awesome? Yes. I love doing it this way. I'm like, oh yeah, I can be here all day. So sometimes you get to a point where your hamstrings are like, I think I could do more. Don't feel like you have to force it if you're like, no, I think this is good. But if you think you can do more, maybe change the block height. That's okay. Like I try, and not my mom's, but that's okay. Let's just go for about 3 more slow breaths. That third one. Use your core to take you back a couple of inches, and then sometimes I'll leave the leg straight so I kind of swing through the side. It's like the hamstring doesn't want to move right away. And so what I like to do, just to help it recover, is just kind of shake the hamstring out. And that side feels okay. We have one more attempt at a step through. If you got nowhere close and you want to add the blocks in, you can, it's fine. But we're going to do one more step. So up to down dog, lift the left leg, lift the back heel, throw the knee to the nose, shift the shoulders forward. We'll see where the foot lands. Good. Wherever it is, it's okay. Back knee drops down. Maybe stay with half split. Maybe scoot forward to the point where you can just sit on a block. Resting the hamstring down. And then maybe use the second block as like a cane. Sometimes your body knows it's okay to go deeper. Sometimes it's like, nope, this is where I'm happy. It's your choice where to go. Let's take more slow, deep breaths. After all 3, just record a slide back, maybe the leg slides to the side. Let's shake the hamstring out. Let this be freedom. Any intuitive movements or stretches that feel good for your body as you're preparing for Shavasana, take a full couple of minutes if you need. Just kind of listen. It's like, okay, what would my body benefit from? What would it love for me to do right now? Take those kinds of stretches. Maybe they're kneeling, maybe they're seated stretches. Maybe they're laying on our back stretches again. So totally up to you what you're doing, how long you're doing it. It's playing with any of that stuff until you just know, okay, now I feel good. Ready to take my final resting pose, that Shavasana. No rush to be there. I'll just mention, since some of us will get to Shavasana sooner than others, so still no rush if you're still moving and stretching. When you are in Shavasana, it might be extra nice today to focus on how slow we can make our breath, since that focus is slowing down today. So maybe that's useful. Again, don't feel rushed. You can keep on stretching if there's still good things to work out. Whenever we feel happy, we're settled into whatever our best possible meditative posture is for Shavasana. Whatever that point is, start to just slow and deep. Beginning to take some slow, deep breaths. Little movements that toes, wrists. Stretching it out. We're waking up first thing in the morning. Perhaps take a nice fetal position off to one side. Be with the body, be with the present moment, be with the breath. 2 more cycles of presence before you rise up sooner or later. Whenever we do arise, feel how the breath enters our body now. Notice how nice it is to slow down. So often we think about just productivity and how we have to go faster to do more. But look at how much slowing down can benefit us. Slowing down helped our core to go so much deeper. Slowing down helped us to be able to sink deeper and deeper into the flexibility of the hamstrings. Slowing down can make for a nice country ride. Beautiful hills, beautiful things, paths that you maybe never would have gone on otherwise compared to the fast freeways. Slowing down means that we can taste every bite that enters our mouth. So with this idea of slowing down to help inspire us to the rest of a beautiful day, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.